What up? Welcome back to the channel. I'm J and we are locked in. This is the recap for episode 4 of Book 2 Ghost season 4. Now Tariq St. Patrick, he's the man. He's turning into baby ghost, but let me tell you, there's a lot on his plate, and I don't know if our boy's gonna get full, because every time he gets ready to go to the next appetizer, well, there's some more beef that is laid out for him. Now, before we jump into this and we get a recap for episode 4, if you like power content, breakdowns, theories, predictions, recaps like this, then hit your subscribe button and turn on your notification bell so you get something every time I upload. Make sure you hit that like button. Now, Tariq, he's going through it. He's chasing down Diana. The Tejadas, they have internal friction. Noma, she's trying to boss up and take it to the next level. So let's jump into it. This is the recap for episode 4, Book 2 Ghost, season 4. We pick up right where we left off. Everyone is looking for Diana and Dru. We see Tariq and Brayden kicking in her dorm to try to find her. Then we see Monet and Kane pull up. Now, Monet explains to Tariq, I know everything that happened. You were with Diana and Dru. You sent those shots at me because you thought I went after Tasha. He's saying, well, you told me you didn't, and I didn't send those shots at you. So we got to get Dru and Diana because you know they came after you. And something we were not expecting, we hear Kane tell Monet, I don't trust Tariq, but he's right about this. We need to take out Dru and Diana. Now everyone's looking at Monet and it's on her. Are we going to get the kids or are we going to spare them? Dru and Diana are on the run. Dru's trying to think of the next step. We need to get some money. We need to get some food. I'm hungry. You want to eat? Now we start to see Diana's pregnancy kick in and she's saying, I feel like I can throw up. But they don't have any money at this point. So we hear Diana say, well, Dru, we can't go eat because we don't have any money. And Dru says, so how'd you pay for the room? Well, it turns out Diana used her debit card or a credit card and she put it on file to get the room. Now Dru knows they instantly messed up when he hears this information. And why is that? Because Monet tracks them down. She sees that there's a transaction being made on one of the credit cards. She goes straight to the Easy Rest Hotel, or should I say motel, because they don't have money like that. She threatens the front desk clerk. She beats him with the gun, and then she goes straight to the room because she needs to talk to Dru and Diana. And it looks like she's about to go ahead and unalive both of them for setting her up and trying to get her unalived. Dru and Diana realize that they messed up by using a credit card instead of paying cash because there's no paper trail. But by the time they leave the room, Monet comes up here and you hear her say, it's hard to get away when I'm footing the bill. Now she's telling her kids, you guys tried to kill me and this is the thanks I get. I gave you everything. But you hear Dru step up and say, nah, Monet, you treated us like ish. You think you deserve our respect? Well, Monet's kind of letting her guard down. We see Diana push her and both of them take off. The non-dynamic duo, they get out of here. But guess what? Kane shows up and he gets to shooting at the car. At this point, the turmoil between the Tejadas is at an all-time high. Tariq and Brayden meet up on campus. They're still looking for Diana. Now Tariq, he's asking around and they're like, nah, Diana hasn't came in, so she hasn't showed up for her shift. Brayden, he's getting the parties and everything started. So he's looking at Tariq like, hey, we good to go. We trying to get this party up and running. We trying to get this dope moving through the city. No one's going to know about this building in the underground basement. Now Tariq, his mind is elsewhere. He's still thinking about getting rid of Diana because Diana and Dru, they played him and now they're trying to throw him under the bus. Brayden is saying, Tariq, we don't need to be going for revenge right now. Let's just get our money and get out the way. But not for Tariq. This isn't good enough. So he texts Pinky and tells her to get an eye on Diana. The next morning, Dru and Diana are sleeping in a car. Well, she wakes up Dru and says, Dru, we need to get out of here. We need to get somewhere safe. We need to get some money. So Dru says he knows where there's a stash at, but he wants to make sure that Diana is safe and he wants to protect her. So she says, take me over to this location. And it turns out it's Salim's house. But remember, Tariq texted Pinky and Pinky found out where Dru and Diana was and she sent Tariq the address over to Salim's house. Now Diana's gonna lay low here while Dru goes out and gets some money so they can actually eat. Don Carter has a different idea for the direction he wants his task force to go in. Kamaal shows up and says, hey, that guy, Roman, well, he told His supplier is a guy named Zion. He has a fight club. We need to go investigate him. Well, Don has other plans. He says, when you get your own task force, you can do that. But what I'm going to do is try to flip Monet against Tariq. So I'm going to go talk to Monet. And if you want to be a part of this operation, you go talk to Tariq. And once you talk to Tariq, we try to flip them against each other. Thanks for doing the footwork, but I run things a little bit differently here. So Don Carter, he's aggressive. He knows what he wants to do, and he's not deviating from that plan. Dru goes to one of his stash spots, and it looks like it's up under a bridge. He climbs up this railing. He looks in the bag, but there's no money. It turns out Kane knew he would be stopping over here to try to get some money. Now we have a heart-to-heart between Kane and Dru. And Dru is saying, why are you teaming up with Monet when you know she got rid of Poppy? Everything she did. And then Kane, he opens up and says, you don't know how I feel about Poppy. He gets out of jail. You didn't want to be in a dope game and you automatically become his number 2. So while Kane is in his feelings and in his emotions are showing, Dru takes the gun from him, knocks him on the ground, and we see Kane yelling, do it, do it. But Dru doesn't want to unalive his brother. He wants to get rid of Monet. So he leaves Kane there on the ground, but he does take his gun and he gets out of here and leaves the scene. Back at the Tejada house, Janet runs into Monet in the hallway and tells Monet, hey, get your stuff together. There's a detective here, a Don Carter, and he has questions for you. Monet's like, what? The police are here? So when she goes down here, well, Don Carter's plan is in effect. I go after Monet, Kamaal goes after Tariq, and she starts to say, hey, I knew about your drug operation. I know about your relationship with Tariq St. Patrick. Also, there was a witness at the scene that said Tariq was there. Well, Tariq fit the description. So Monet, she's trying not to be so shocked and surprised. He's like, yeah, I know you guys were mid-level drug dealers. You were on your way up until you got shot. So if you have any information, come and talk to me. Now, what Don is doing is applying that pressure. Like, I know more than I'm giving off. Now, Noma's trying to legitimize herself. She goes to talk to Davis after he popped up and gave her the files on the police officers and whatever information he had. She's like, okay, let me go back to him. Davis knows he can make money off of this. She wants to be able to get government contracts and being able to supply them with whatever needs they need so she can make more money than a little bit. And Davis has those political connections. So he says there is a guy. There's a guy and he's having a charity event. Noma wants to know how much will that cost to get this information. He says, we'll worry about that once you start getting the contracts. Before then, the ladies' man Davis, he says, what time am I picking you up to go to this little charity event? She says, oh, don't worry about it. I have someone in mind. She's not going with Davis. She's just using him for his connect. While Don Carter is talking to Monet, Kamaal is looking for Tariq. Same thing. Hey, Tariq, let me talk to you. I know about a shooting. I know about some things that are going down. And Tariq is like, what are you talking about? He says, you fit the description of the person that was leaving the crime scene when Monet Tejada got shot. Now, Tariq is smart and he's saying, wait, are you saying the same thing to Monet? Because he can sense that they're trying to make him go against Monet. But you never listen to what the cops are saying because they're going to lie to get this information. And Tariq says, if you told Monet that, then you're putting a target on my back. Kamaal is saying, listen, just come and talk to us if you have any information. Tariq ends up getting a text message and a phone call, so he has to leave. But he's peeping that the police are now officially on his scene about this shooting, and he might fit the suspect description. Diana's been at Salim's house, waiting and waiting for Dru to get back. But we know that he got into an altercation with Kane, and he needs to go find other money. Now she's talking to Salim, but she doesn't tell Salim that she's pregnant. She's just saying that they need to get some money, and she made a bad decision and need to leave New York. Now Salim says, hey, listen, this is what you can do. You can take my car. My parents are away for a while, for at least a month. You can go stay at our house in Connecticut so you can get out of New York City. Now she hugs him and she's like, thank you. So she's leaving to go stay over there. Dru doesn't know where his sister is, but he's trying to gather up some money. So Salim, he saves Diana temporarily. Brayden has a new love interest, and we know that he's been linking up with Elle. Now we know when he was with Elle, they did a little booger sugar, and now it looks like they're still doing it. Brayden is going down the same path as Tommy Egan. Now, him and Elle, they've gotten close, and he's telling her, listen, our product, our parties are the best. She's an artist, and he's talking about she's going to get a record deal, we're going to blow up, and she's kind of realizing maybe they're only messing with you, Brayden, because of your product. Well, either way, Brayden doesn't care because he's getting some, and he wants some more. But we start to notice a pattern with Elle. She tells Brayden, how about you give me some product off the top for free? He says Tariq won't like it. She says, well, we don't have to tell Tariq. Brayden might be in over his head. Noma and Kane continue to get closer and closer. She's telling him not to be a mama's boy. You work for me now. Boss up a little bit. So they go to this charity event, and we finally run into Wiley Adams. Now he's in charge of the different government contracts. Kane is over there disturbing and trying to make a distraction to Wiley's assistant. Now we find out that Noma, she isn't a US citizen. That's the only way you can get government contracts. So she's talking to Wiley, and he say, if you want me to expedite that, kind of like Obi's green cards, it's going to be a little more money on top. And then the contracts, if you make the right bid, we'll bring you in. So now Noma is one step closer to being legitimate. Kane is over here distracting Kevin. Now he's talking about a little bit of Henny, but they don't have none, so he gets a scotch. And he does say that his name is Larenz, so Kevin doesn't know who he really is. Now he's talking about he's an export, and he went to Clark Atlanta. Now both of them are alma maters. We know Kane ain't, but Kevin is saying, I went in 2011. You were 16? Dang, crazy. So they have a connection. While Noma's doing her thing, handling business, getting Wiley to help her out, he's distracted Kevin, and Kevin is thinking, you know what? How about I bring you in, a successful entrepreneur, because if you're at this banquet, then you must know somebody, you must be making some money, and you talk to the youth. But Kane ain't here for all of that. He gets the text message, he looks at Noma, she got the information she needs, and he heads out because they done got the drop. Tariq takes the address that Pinky gave him. He goes over to Salim's house. Now Salim is caught off guard, like, Tariq, what are you doing here? He busts in, where's Diana? He's like, I don't know what you're talking about. He's trying to downplay it because we know that Salim was involved with Diana, but Tariq ain't playing around, so he snatches him up and puts him against the wall. I said, where's Diana? If she wanted you to know where she was at, Tariq, she would tell you, but I don't know. Tariq then pulls out that gun. This changes Salim all the way up. She's at my parents' house, Connecticut. I don't want no problems, Tariq. But then Tariq says, look at you. You bitched up. He said, what? So he reaches for the gun. They get a little tussle. Bang! R.I.P. Salim. Tariq laid him down. Janet and Monet get into it in the kitchen, and later on that evening, we get a flashback. Janet's told her, you don't know nothing about your kids. They're pregnant, and the reason life is like this is because what you did. So we see a young Dru, probably about 12, 13 years old. He's supposed to be going to an art show, but Monet takes him to a drug deal. When they get in here, you hear Dru talking about, I don't want to be here. Monet, fix your face. They get in here, this guy tries to play Monet, calling her Lorenzo's B. She ain't nobody's B, but she wants her money. Well, they end up getting into a tussle. A gun drops. Little Dru picks it up. Little Dru shoots this man. Bang! Dru caught his first body at 13 years old. This is one reason why they wanted Dru to be next in line and not Kane. This has Monet in her feelings because she's really looking at how she raised her kids and how messed up it was. She slapped Dru, told him to fix himself. She took him on a drug deal. We know about the gun up under Kane's baby seat. We know about the 2 bricks. So now she's realizing, maybe I have been harsh on my kids. She pulled a gun on them in the beginning of the episode. So right now, Monet's really going through it. Kane knows that Dru is short on money, so he goes to the bodega where they have some money stashed away. And sure enough, Dru is in there. Now he creeps up on him with a gun, and he's like, oh yeah, I got you now. Kane calls Monet. Monet says, wait a minute, don't do that. This is your brother. Kane is like, I'm right here, Ma. He tried to get rid of you. She said, give Dru the phone. Now she gives Dru the phone, and after that flashback, she's basically telling Dru, look, I'm sorry. We need to try to figure this out. We're still family. Kane is not allowed to kill Dru. But what he does do is get very upset because Dru gets in his face and says, "You'll always be a mama's boy." Pistol whips Dru, starts punching him, tells him, "You need to move out the condo. You're done. I can't unalive you, but you're dead to me." Tariq finally hunts down Diana in Connecticut. He sneaks up on her from the back door, catches her in the kitchen. She's trying to run out. He pulled a gun on her. She's talking about, "Tariq, you can't do this." He's saying, "Why can't I do it, Diana?" And out of nowhere, Monet pops up. And Monet says, "You can't do that because she's pregnant. And it's yours, Tariq." Monet wants to keep the family together. So now Tariq is like, "What? Wait a minute." So he runs out the house and we see Monet and Diana begin to hug each other. Because Monet, she's really been going through it. We've seen Diana change up her stance. She's like, "Monet, I'm with you. I want to be with my mom." And well, we got a grandbaby on the way. And the last thing we see is Brayden and Tariq at their party, and it's jumping. Brayden got it going. We got No Lie app. You can buy t-shirts. The size of your t-shirt determines how much drugs you want to buy. We got little compartments at the bottom of water bottles. Tariq smoking and drinking. And at the end of the bar, he sees this tall, brown-skinned woman. He's starting to notice who it is. He goes over and talks to her, buys her a drink. She says her name is Anya. Tariq looks at her. "Anya? I'm Tariq." Well, Anya is Noma's daughter, and Tariq, he may have just found an end to try to backdoor Noma or have some leverage against her. All right, there you go, the recap for episode 4 of Power Book 2 Ghost. Let me know what you think about the Tejada family. How are they going to act knowing that Dru and Kane ain't on the same page and Diana is pregnant? And for Tariq, is this move trying to get close to Anya going to be something good, or will it backfire on him and he get into some more nonsense? Let me know what you think. I'm Mo.J. If you like this kind of content, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. I'm out.